To say there's a niche following for power fantasies would be a lie. There's a massive following for power fantasies. It's the factory-produced material that grabs any concept from trash to absolute genius and throws it through the company-approved mold to create another run-of-the-mill power fantasy. But what's the title about? You know what I mean. Self-inserts. This is a video for all you lonely fucks out there, which are projecting yourselves so hard onto some fictional cardboard cutout screaming, "He's me! For real, for real!" Yeah, nah, little bro. Everyone always throws self-insert out there as some kind of catch-all to criticize these series. Like, I get it. I'm a sucker for these characters too. They serve some kind of primal urge. But I'm a writer. I'm practically indoctrinated to avoid these character archetypes. They're bad writing. Pfft, yeah, fuck off. A good piece of writing is something someone enjoys. I'm not so deep in the source that I'd start spouting elitist crap about high and low media. I mean, I'm the writer that forgot how to read after watching all this anime and manga. So why is this on my mind at all? I read All You Hide Her Feelings in Russian. Now, of the genres where self-inserts exist, it's rom-coms and fantasies. But it's not just here, but I'll get to that later. So why is this series under my crosshair? The main character, Kuze Masachika, my man's something of a loner. Small, tight group of friends that aren't even actually his real close friends. The series doesn't criticize that, but criticizing that would be like shooting itself in the foot, because that'd be like attacking their biggest target audience. That'd be like me telling weebs to go out and get a job. Fuck that shit, rot away in the basement. Your corpses are the perfume that make my analytics pop off. But you can become him, the guy that people gawk at. Himothy, the undisputed GOAT. The Secret Genius. There's this subgenre of self-insert types, and this is where I have to admit this video isn't as I've been painting it. You aren't that guy, little bro. Not because the characters aren't trying to be as applicable to everyone as possible, but it's literally because you aren't that impressive. Like, I know you all better than you think I do. I'm the guy who had 8th grader syndrome, also known as being a chunny. I spent my high school years thinking, I'm not making friends, not because I can't. It's because I'm above the heathen. Yeah, let's not talk about it. But I was no social genius. I'm good with words. Arguments and spinning words are my specialty. But I'd already fallen free from the grasp of that bullshit by the time I was able to use my specialty with any confidence at all. So what am I rambling about? Kuze, Ayanokoji, Sora. They're all geniuses, and some of them have serious inferiority complexes. Like, they're basically the poster boys for undiagnosed anxiety issues. But why do they have all of these issues? They're forged that way, it's hammered into them. This is the key to why they're still, in my eyes, self-insert characters. They're pandering to the audience. I've read Alyo Hides Her Feelings in Russian recently, so Kuze's on my mind. He's got a keen eye for social relations, extremely conscious of things. He only helps in the most extremely exterior ways, because helping directly would make him more extroverted than the self-insert suspension of disbelief bridge can handle. He has to be recognizably socially outcast. Lots of these characters are built to reflect a dream of loners in high school. They want to be and want to feel so much cooler than they actually are. Sitting quietly in the back of a classroom. You aren't Kuze, bro! Man's actually trying his hardest when he feels like it. His background interference is actually doing something. You're just fantasizing of the possibilities of what could be done in that situation, but you haven't said a word to anyone but your clique of socially outcast nerds and fellas. Ayanokoji is literally a social manipulator, gaslight gatekeep girl boss style. Like, he's hands-on with his influence, his words are changing minds, his analysis, whilst contrived and absolutely saved by the strings of the writer, are still fixing the situation. You're just sitting here, thinking about how you'd be able to influence the teacher to give you a toilet break. Sora's using equally contrived means to mentally influence his opponents. Wordplay, analysis, excellent, but you aren't all that. I say this with my whole heart. If you really are this so-called genius, go and prove it. Make some friends. You don't even need to do the gaslighting part, or the manipulation part. Talk to a wide array of people, and liaise with as many groups as you're comfortable. That'll prove me wrong. Oh, and if you want to prove me even more wrong, keep all of those friendships and relationships well maintained past high school. That requires a real genius. Manipulation and gaslighting can be saved for Among Us compilation videos after you're a hit content creator that is well known for intellectual maneuvers. And if you're just the anxiety and inferiority complex, go join a club or some extracurricular thing. Like, that's the easiest way to figuring it all out. You can learn from a high school failure and go ahead and fix your issues. Join the musical or play your school is running. Try, you'll make friends even if you're shit. And I know you're all saying, if only it were that easy. Social anxiety won't allow me to do that. The hardest step is always the first. You aren't bocce, bro. You don't got godlike luck to bring a Nijika to you. Life isn't that generous, and if it was, you need to know damn well that you have to grab onto the coattails and ride that shit till the end of the world. But I know you aren't like that. If you're here wallowing in self-defeat, you wouldn't. So listen and take the first step. Kuze grabbed Alia's hand and promised he'd make her the student council president. The first step is always yours to take. Media is self-indulgent. It's just here for everyone to feel like their problems are gone. But media is also the magical mirror that stares your greatest fears in your eyes. Take hold, life is in your hands. And if you're none of the above, well, this part wasn't made for you. The Overpowered. These characters exist because people feel like they're lacking. Self-inserts fulfill a fantasy, something that isn't possible. These characters are supposedly nothing in real life, then they're transported to another world and suddenly their problems are gone. I mean, this is the most obvious to diagnose as an impossibility for you, Mr. Average Joe. If you aren't literally Faker sitting in T1 HQ, or any of the other highly accomplished pro gamers, sportsmen, yada yada yada, you get the drift. These individuals are all highly excellent. If the truth is meant to be that they're socially inept and problematic, well, I don't think we have to uncover the fucking rabbit hole that is the mountain of teenagers that have to handle all these things as they're playing on stage. On my mind is our generic cardboard cutout. Kirigaya Kazuto, or Kirito, he could have gotten a more interesting tag, maybe Faker, or XX Your Mum XX. I mean, he's the poster boy for all self-inserts. He was also the entry to the medium for so many baby weebs from that time. He's fucking awful! He's your normal, I want to be alone because I can do it all better alone after I failed to protect my baby girl crush. He's quite literally, I miss her, or if you're the unskilled version on my team, I'll miss her. But like, literally, no one is his peer in these games. He's quite literally a challenger player smurfing in piss low as he climbs through the tower. Again, unless you're the select few people I mentioned prior, you are nowhere near this guy. And if you are aspiring to be this guy, well, firstly, you've got to reevaluate who the fuck you want to be in life. But hey, this is quite literally admitting you want to just game. Like, no shame. But you better get goddamn good at this game and not end up like aspiring pro gamer, wise girl, hard stuck bronze 3 Riven main. There's a million people which you can be. And guess what? I'm here for your ruin. Or rise. Here's how you fucking get good. Pick something. Anything. Literally. Surprisingly enough, being skilled alone is enough to make you money. I don't want to hear your whimpers about, but this field doesn't pay. I chose to be a riser where in the field where every artist is someone wallowing about how horrible everything is in the industry. I don't want to hear it. If you're skilled, you will have someone who wants your skill. Within reason. This is the hard part. Guess what? Get good. Learning a new skill is a fucking pain. You can trust me on that. I'm the guy that's dipped his toes into every skill set and crawls back to writing because I was deluded enough to think I was good enough when I was a wee child. I mean, all the people who are in the arts have been practicing since they were children, and I'm no different. If you choose an art, or anything really, the name of the game is practicing more, and practicing more efficiently than everyone else who's aiming for that commission or that publishing deal. Sure, there are ways to game the system, like everything, but don't lie yourself into a stupid hole where you think you're good enough. If you really are good enough and your work is out there, you will have deals. And if you choose pro gaming, well, firstly, you're in the deep end, good luck. I don't know how your field works. Go choose some random pro coach or ex-pro that streams and ask them. But I'm just going to say that deluding yourself is your biggest danger. You aren't better until you are. So fucking watch that VOD back and think to yourself whether you won that clutch because you played it to perfection or whether you were just lucking yourself into a winning position. Sadly, you're going to have to become one of those genius types. Fucking think. But hey, I wouldn't know. I'm just a platinum Valorant IGL. I lose my team rounds just by trying to be a genius. The both. These fellas are the gods. Think that guy from Irregular at Magic High School, a guy who's inventing his own tech and he's producing industry innovation at high school, as well as being an extremely capable combatant at the wee age of high schooler. Now, trying to be both is crazy, so go rewatch a previous section. But if you're still here, you're either waiting for the Twitter self-inserts, or you're actually deluded. I like that. You have to do both. Knowing people is essential to being an all-rounder. Talking and figuring out friends is a great way to start. Spend your time developing skills. Do as much as you can. All-rounders aren't that excellent just because they are good at their fields. They're good because they're willing to do. Expanding yourself into other fields will deepen your specialty. Everything benefits from being a good human. Characters are built on what is entertaining. If you're that deluded, think if a reader would think you're interesting if you went and tried that one sport. The answer is probably fucking yes. Twitter. Look, you literally can't. The eyeless protagonists who are built upon literal fantasy, their existence is impossible. You'd need millions of lotteries luck to have even the most achievable of plots to become possible. So, we're aiming for the lowest of the low. To up your odds, it's time to become Genius McRisley. If you've already started with section 1 of this manual, you are quite literally on track. Having a fuck ton of friends is introducing you to more opportunities to be that guy which people turn to when they have problems. The more you're there, the more you're the hot prospect. People want that guy. Of course, you can't act like you're too far above them. You're human, show your weaknesses, and be a person too. Most Twitter manga is girls falling for frankly whatever guys. But if these guys are anything, they're persistent in the story, because the writer puts them in those situations. Sadly, you're going to have to be there to be written into those scenarios, and you can't be creepy about it. Killing your chances is just being a plain fucking weirdo. Anyway, this is a video for me to say, just be a normal fucking human for fuck's sake. Anime isn't real for a reason, but you can learn to be normal from anime, even if it's a weird normal. Everything you do is actually changing what's going to happen to you. Your fate is in your hands and your hands only. And if anyone molds your destiny, you ain't cool, you're just a puppet. Go watch another one of my videos. Like and subscribe.